video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Regular programming with breaking news. You're looking live at our Sky 5 chopper over downtown Los Angeles, where police are in pursuit of a black Pontiac Firebird. He's headed eastbound on the 10 at speeds topping 85 miles. Welcome to our Thursday, Saturday night stream, everybody. Hope that you are enjoying your weekend and the Thanksgiving holidays, and we are very thankful that you guys are here with us tonight. We have a great show planned. The team is here. Well, some of them, not all of them. I will just let you wonder what is happening. Want to say hello to the people in chat. Green Lantern 345. What is going on, brother? You know what, Green Lantern 345? I got something for you. We're going to do this early. That was for you, my friend. Great to see you. We also have Scott Westbrook. Scott sends in a $5 super sticker. Scott, thank you so much. He sent in, let me see, the Fox saying good job. Awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for your support and that very generous super chat, my friend. We appreciate you. Let's see. We also have in the chat with us tonight, Venger. What is going on, Avenger? Good to see you as well. My brother, the Rogue Sarge. What is up? Great to see Rogue Sarge. Hope you got to go to the gun range, Bobby. Let's see. We also have the wonderful, incredible, intelligent Donna Hergenrether. Hail all. What is up, Donna? Great to see Donna as always. We have in the chat Matt Risman. Yeah. Risman. Just kidding. We love our Matt Risman, who does so much to help us out. Truly. I mean, y'all already know this. One of my we're beyond friends at this point. We're family. And the way that he talks to me, he better be glad we're family. Let's see. I also have in the chat the wonderful, incredible, very sweet and kind. Love her very much. Star Wars Mom. What is up, Star Wars Mom? Great to see you. Hope that you have a great Thanksgiving holiday coming up, Star Wars Mom. Special shout out to you, my friend. We also have Extreme Meme Supreme. What is going on? Great to see you. Rogue Sarge with a huge $20 super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, holy crap. Thank you, Rogue Sarge. You've done that so many times, man, and I just cannot thank you enough. Wow. Very generous. You're a terrific, awesome member. We love all of our members and just all of our regular attenders. You don't have to be a member to the channel, but man, we love you guys. Thank you so much. John Riley, what is up? Speaking of members, what is going on, John Riley? Great to see you, brother. Donna Hergenrether with a member chat. EBN forever. Have a great stream. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you, Donna. We appreciate that as well. Lombardi, 1969. He hails all the way from Wisconsin. I probably didn't even say that well. You wanted it. You got it, bro.
N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, no, no.
You wanted it. You got it. Oh, look, my man, Green Lantern 345. Oh my gosh, yes, love the goat. All right. So we met your request, Lombardi 1969, always asking for the no-no song. We don't get to play it as much anymore because people don't really come on here and curse that much. So the no-no song doesn't really happen. But one of the funniest moments is when Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers came onto the channel. He's been on the channel a couple times. So we love having him. He's awesome. Look up to him and all that stuff. But Jeremy comes on and he goes, first thing out of his mouth, Coach, if you play that freaking no song on me, I swear I'm leaving. It was so funny. We're going to have to find that somewhere. Vincent Breeden, what is going on? Ahoy, ahoy. Good to see you, Vincent. We appreciate you very much, man. Joey McRae. Hey, chat. What's going on, Joey? Thanks for being here. Mexican Iron Man says Risman equals ew. How do you say that in Spanish? Is it the way that you say ping pong in Japanese? Ping pong. Anyways. Love you, Mexican Iron Man. Let's see. We also have Star Wars Retold at Coach at Echo Base Network. Hey, Coach. Great to see you, Star Wars Retold. You are the man. Keep it rolling. Andy Masterson. Evening, Andy. Nicholas Glenn should be here soon. He's not texted me. It's unusual, but it's not unusual that he's a couple minutes late. So that is where we are. But great to see you, Andy. You are the man, bro. You are the man. B3120, all hell. Our friend, the legendary Tron. Love him very much. Y'all don't know this because you can't see everything going on in the home office here. But I have the autographed Anakin Skywalker picture or cell, rather. It's a cell from the Clone Wars animated show. And I got Tron's picture from his memorial on there as well, next to Anakin. And it's right there. And the autograph is made out to Tron. And they gave it to me. His family wanted me to have it. Thank you very much to Donna and Debbie for getting it to me. They sent that to me as a memento from him, and every time I see it, I smile, man. Every time. So he is always with us. He's here, and we love him very much. Let's see. We also have Felix Quiros. There he is. About to say, where are you, Felix? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hope you've been watching plenty of basketball lately. B3120, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, been on here. Heck yeah, a couple times. A bunch of them dudes have. Pretty cool stuff. We don't time Nick on a clock. We time him with a calendar. That's how you know Nick right there. That's the Nick test. If you know Nick like that, then yes. Sergeant Giratina, good evening. Great to see you. And then we have our friend Andrew Wall. What's up, Coach? Keep fighting for the users. That's exactly what we will do. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We got a great show lined up for you tonight here on our Thursday, Saturday night live stream, where we're going to discuss the highs and lows of our favorite entertainment together with you, the EBN family, and dip our toes into some nostalgia as well. So let's bring him on in here. Ladies and gentlemen, the real brains behind the operation, Rissman.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello
How are
there
you?
in Southern Banjo dialect.
Yeah,
Hello there.
exactly. So you got that out of the way early.
Sure did. Sure did.
Great. Great.
I am what I am. I like what I am. Some people don't like me. I like me.
That's all that matters, Coach.
That's all that matters.
All that matters.
I'm smart. I'm funny. And doggone it, people
like me. Oh, no.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah.
Guys, I was devastated today. I have been wanting a friend's G.I. Joe collection for like almost 10 years. He had his collection from his childhood at his parents' house. The collection belongs to he and his brother. They got like two of everything kind of deal growing up. So my friend knew that I wanted to purchase his collection. And I got a text about a week ago that said, hey, putting all the G.I. Joes in the box, come check them out again and make us an offer. We're ready to sell them. And I was like, yes, because this collection was like exquisite museum quality. It looks like they never played with their toys. So I went over there today in great anticipation. And when I got there, I realized the toys no longer look like they did 8 or 9 years ago. They have been broken, mangled, destroyed. Apparently, his niece has gone over to his parents' house and she played with the G.I. Joes from 1982, version 1.0, straight arms, if you know what I mean. And she broke their freaking fingers off, arms off. She broke their wee-wees off. It was bad. So I am no longer buying the collection for myself. He is a good friend of mine. I'm brokering the collection. I'm going to sell it for him and he's going to give me a percentage back. And I'm going to be keeping Gung Ho because I need his Gung Ho. So that's where we are. I was it's exactly how I felt right there. Thank you, Green Lantern. That was girls ruin everything.
I had the same comment, didn't I? I did not go. I had the same exact comment.
Yeah, love that banjo coach. Never change it. I bought an old stock XM Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder pilot statue. Your channel was one of the few that had a review for 300s. I hope I did good. That's awesome, man. Very, very cool, Ryan. Hey, join us in our Facebook group and post a picture of that thing. That is awesome. Anything George Lucas, Luke Skywalker, I fully support. I fully support my hero, Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean, Risman?
I do indeed. I do indeed.
All right, let's get this thing going, everybody. Should I call Nick and just see? Like, would that be funny?
No, I think he's stuck in traffic, Coach.
You're just making that up, right? He's stuck on traffic on a work call.
On a work call.
All right, so I'm doing this.
Oh,
We're
no.
gonna call Nick.
Oh no.
Look,
I know. Yeah.
What up?
we have a live stream.
Say what?
We have a live stream.
Oh yeah. It's loud here. I'm still at this. Did you just cancel it?
No, we're live right now. Tell everybody hello.
Oh, you're live right now. Yeah. I'm still at this event thing. I completely fucking. Did you see my text message?
No, you didn't send me a text message.
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Oh, I
Oh.
think it did come in while you were welcoming people.
You
Coach,
sent it to
'cause I
me
heard
at
your phone-
7:07. Yeah, I never saw it. I
heard
was
your
already
phone go
talking.
off.
Yeah, I just sent it to you at 8:07. Mike texted me. It's like your stream started, and I was like, "Fuck, I completely forgot that the stream was tonight."
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, have fun. Me and Richmond got it.
All right, I'll if I make it back in time, I'll jump in. Are you just gonna do an hour and just jump off?
Anything can happen. We're gonna
All right.
we're gonna talk crap about you for at least an hour.
Did you want to come back on some Battlefield tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Okay. Look, the chat saying Nick is in party mode. The blonde leading the blind. Oh my goodness. All right. Anything you want to say to the chat?
Hey, everybody in chat. What's up? Have a fun stream.
All right. Bye.
You see Mexican Iron Man calling him out in the chat. He's like he's not stuck in traffic. Call him.
Are y'all surprised?
I'm not.
This is our life, is it not, Risman? This is our life.
Yeah, I did hear your phone go off while you're welcoming folks, and I was like, I bet that's him texting now after
Yeah.
the stream has started.
Nick in party mode. Pizza Rolls is partying. Nick is not stuck on in traffic. Call him. Felix is laughing. Darcipio, well said. The blind leading the blind. But who's the leader? It's not him.
Definitely not him.
It's not him. Jerome, our old friend. What is up, man? Evening, fellas. Nick is big timing you guys tonight.
Big timing.
He sure is. He's out at a tiki bar party having fun. And here we are.
I know.
Keeping things alive and going. Yeah. Oh well. Sosa Potence, what is going on? Party. Nick is he loves The Last Jedi. Oh my goodness. Darth Simpus. Hey Simpus, Matt Risman. It could have been worse for Nick. You know what? I believe I did hear Nick drop.
He did. He did say the F-bomb was dropped on that call. It sure was.
He earned it. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's a good one right there.
That's nightmare fuel. That gives me nightmares. That is.
Look, as soon as you saw it, you turned your head.
I did. I was like, I can't. I just can't.
All right, everybody, let's get into this. So here's what we got. I'm going to give y'all a little preface. We're going to talk some Star Wars updates off the bat. The Leslie Headland thing, a little update, a little shade being thrown about Ahsoka and Sabine. The Ray delay, a little bit of Starfighter, a little bit of Mando and Grogu, and then some Stargate, Star Trek, Legend of Zelda, Masters of the Universe, and then Project Hail Mary. So that is the agenda. We're going to get this thing going, and I got my co-pilot here with me. He's the Chewbacca. Look, he's Chewbacca. I'm Han. And Nick is the one-eyed creature in the Death Star.
The Dianaga, isn't it?
The Dianaga. That's correct. Yeah. I didn't want to say that because I didn't think people would know what that was. Yeah. So yes, that's exact. Actually, he's what the Dianaga left under the rose bush.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
I thought you were gonna go with Minok. Either one would be fine. Either one would be fine.
He's what the Minok left stuck on the side of the Falcon. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Raffle off his computer.
I know. I saw that. I had to laugh.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
That computer hasn't gotten use in months.
No. He should have given me that computer and taken mine.
Right.
I'm still rocking a computer I got 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and it's on its last leg. Anyways, Nick has a better computer than me. That bugs me. I'm not going to lie. Everything else in here is awesome. The computer needs to be updated. But does it? I don't know.
Nah, it's fine.
It's fine. I can't play the latest games, but that's why I have a PS5 now. So, anyways, all right, let's get into all of these things, ladies and gentlemen. First off the bat, Star Wars controversial TV show cancellation gets honest, in-depth response from the showrunner 1 year later. Nick and I did a video about this Leslie Headland acolyte. It's been a year. She's opened up and she's talked about the cancellation. She said some very interesting comments. Rissman let me know that the original article it is behind a paywall. Yeah. And Screen Rant, I believe, took it and chopped it up and had some misleading moments in it. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yeah, that's why. First of all, shame on the Wrap. They used to have the Wrap Pro, which was pay for. Now everything is pay for. So now you've got all these other sites like Screen Rant taking these little snippets. And I had seen, or I saw the full article. I couldn't find it. So this comicbook.com article does a better job of sort of preserving the stream of consciousness that went through, because it was a question and answer interview. It was an old-fashioned interview, and Screen Rant did a horrible job with it.
Right. So we're going to look at some of her comments. She's talking about the cancellation of her show, and let's not get this twisted in any way. I don't hate Leslie Headland. Okay. I thought what she made was awful, horrid. Star Wars. It's the worst Star Wars ever made, and I don't think anything will ever be worse. I think it's the bottom, and it probably always will be. I hope, or maybe I
never say never. But I'm with you.
Right. Well, as it stands right now, it's the worst by far. There are some people that love it. I feel like it's for non-Star Wars reasons that they love it, except for people like to say that it had some great lightsaber fights. Okay. Anyways, she does talk about, as a creator, the canceling of her show. She says that she still is passionate and loves Star Wars. She said that she said all of the criticism is valid. I thought that was a interesting thing to say. Not because I don't think it is valid. It just kind of surprised me that she actually said that. That's spoken by somebody that appears to have a little bit of sense about them. I don't really think that she does, because then right on the other side of her mouth, she says that a lot of Star Wars fans are fascist and racist. The way that the article originally read, it made it appear that Leslie Headland said the new Star Wars being made will have more of a cultural impact than anything before it. So I translated that as if to say, in quotations on our thumbnail, better than George, which is, it's not a direct quote, but I'm quoting her and her message. So you still put it in quotations. It's not a direct quote, but that's the source that I'm using when I said that. So that's not plagiarism. What was incorrect is she wasn't really meaning that at all, was she? She was talking about YouTubers.
It was a, however you want to put it, it was a huge bit of copium that she was throwing in there, right? Because she was basically saying, she said, I think, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, right? But she said, I think that what's going to endure more than the Star Wars that's being made now is the dialogue, is the things that are being made about the Star Wars that's being made now. They will have longevity. And I read that and I had to, just have to kind of stop for a second and say, well, if what you had made was better, it would stand on its own and it would persevere, and anything that was said about it would support what you would hope to be, would be generally positive, feedback. And I think the reason why she makes these comments about, people's reactions being valid and all that is, while she claims to have been online and be a part of YouTube communities and all that, and then
she said she was a Patreon member for some of these channels.
She did. And then I'm sure they're all the same channels she invited, into interviews and all that, by the way, Coach. But regardless,
the Mary Sue and all that.
Yeah. But then she took a break. And even though she was on a break from online, she was getting a lot of phone calls, not just from Lucasfilm, right? She was getting phone calls from people that she knew, right? Colleagues and other folks who were concerned for her because they were seeing all of the negative feedback. So whether she still believes, and I know she does, that she made the best show she could and she's very proud of it and all that stuff, she knew as it was going along that she wasn't getting glowing praise. That's why if she wasn't happy about the way they canceled it, she said in the interview, she said, I wasn't a bit surprised.
Right. So one thing that I thought was interesting is that she said in this interview that it was a real shame that it was canceled and not given it a second chance, because the show needed an opportunity to land for the people in which it was made for.
Yeah.
So she just told you all that, she just told all of us that she didn't make it for us. And to Nick's credit, he remembered right off the top of his head that she was told to make a Leslie Headland story.
He was good on that. That was the Kathleen Kennedy. Remember, we covered it when she was like, originally, the whole original story was very Sith focused. It was Leslie wanted to tell a Star Wars story about Sith, about darkness, about all this stuff. And KK was like, yeah, that's a pretty good start, but tell me a Leslie story. And that's when we got the twins and the family hardship and all the stuff that we got,
that had us shaking our heads. Which
was when she says it didn't find her audience. It
found the audience real fast.
Well,
when they were saying, to be fair, that this is the gayest Star Wars show ever made, it found the audience that day, to be fair.
Well, and that's why in this same interview, she said, we always had an uphill battle and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shame on you for spending maybe at least $250 to $300 million on this dud.
Yeah.
Right. And now you come out in an interview and you say, yeah, well, oh, well.
Yeah. So you didn't make it for everybody. And you're taking a shot. Now here's let's bring this up and look at the comment. So Leslie grew up with Star Wars. She devoured the old expanded universe novels, watched the special editions in '97. Maybe that's where she went wrong. Just kidding. And was immersed in the fandom during the prequel era. I am a Star Wars fan, which means I have always been since the launch of YouTube, part of the Star Wars recap, criticism, lionization fandom community. These guys I've known for years and years. So when I got the information from others about the weather report was, about what the weather report was, there was this real concern from friends of mine or coworkers of mine that saddened me. I was also like, I know who these guys are. You don't have to tell me who's talking about it or how bad it is online. I know exactly who they are. I supported them on Patreon. There are some of them that I respect, and there are some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunist. Time out. I agree with her so far. There are.
Mm-hmm.
There are YouTubers that are not worth their salt, that just take every opportunity to do whatever, and they just change their opinions with the majority, instead of saying things like, if I cared about the majority, I would never say I hate the Goonies. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And most of our audience here at EBN hates Disney Star Wars. But when they actually make something that we think is decent, we say it. And there's some people that won't do that. They just won't. Then, of course, there are the fascist and racist. So it runs a gamut. It isn't just one thing or the other. What is she talking about? Fascist and racist. What does fascism have to do with people not liking the Acolyte?
This is it exactly. So I mean, I don't disagree in principle, right? Yes, there are fascists, there are racists. Yes, some of them have a platform, right? But on your point, I don't think any of that has anything to do with the feedback that was being provided about the Acolyte, right? The feedback was really of two kinds, right? At least from what I can remember us really covering. Number one, the story just sucked,
Yes.
right? People were not into the story. It didn't really resonate. It just didn't feel, to use a Nick line, right? It just didn't feel like Star Wars,
Yeah.
right? That was a part of it. And then the second part of it was the press tour was abysmal. Right. Everything that happened leading up to this series being released, every time that cast got together and opened their mouths,
Awful.
they stuck their foot, everything got stuck in. Right. They did such a disservice to themselves during that press tour that it painted a negative perception of the show for many people before it even came on.
You remember, like, the night before it premiered, Hedlund and Stenberg were interviewed by Collider, I
Yeah,
believe.
this was the gayest thing ever.
I think they were stoned. I think they were high when they did that article or interview.
Yeah.
In retrospect, it did not help the show at all. And people watched early on because they knew they were watching a train wreck, and they were. And then by the end of it, everybody had checked out because it was awful. All right. So anyways, that's the article. The Acolyte is gone. It's never coming back. We'll just see.
And she blamed a lot of other things in the article, right? She blamed the High Republic. You know what I mean? She blamed
the fact stormtroopers.
She blamed the fact that she was measured against every other Star Wars thing that ever came out and really wasn't fair. She did blame. It wasn't just fascist and racist, right? She took every opportunity to blame everything. She never one time said, to her credit in a way, she never one time said it was the story's problem, because I believe she still stands behind. She even said, I wouldn't do anything different. She took the Rian Johnson of it all, right? I wouldn't do anything different. This was my story.
Yep. And you never should have been able to tell it. World of Swap Shop. What's up, my old friend? Supporters of the Acolyte are still claiming that its cancellation was because of the supposed negative review bombing and chud spreading bad word of mouth. But where were the feminist fans? Very few and far between, my friend. There just weren't very. And that's the thing, man. There aren't many fans of Disney Star Wars. There just aren't. It's a shrinking, tiny demographic. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with the franchise. Disney has alienated their base. You know something that's really interesting about everything that you're saying, Risman, and everything that she's saying, how a big part of the reason that it failed was because she couldn't use things like Tony Gilroy, like with stormtroopers and familiar characters and familiar places and things that Star Wars has been in the past. She had to do something completely new and different, something that's totally different. Well, we're going to see an article here in a few minutes where Sean Levy is telling us he is told to do the exact same thing. Do not use characters that you've ever seen before. Do not go to locations you've seen before. Make it completely different. Make it completely new. We want a brand new story with a brand new thing. So I don't know, Leslie. Like it seems like Lucasfilm is doubling down on that venture. I don't know.
I mean, I would think, despite Mexican Iron Man's comment here, I would think we have, with the exception of Rogue One, which at this point, and I guess The Mandalorian to an extent, but Rogue One specifically, which may more and more is seeming like an anomaly, right? In regards to them creating new characters and placing them in a story that resonates with people, we seem to have a lot of evidence here over the last years that they just don't know how to do that. So whatever Sean Levy does or doesn't do, hopefully the story is well written. He's got Jonathan Tropper writing that story. And so hopefully that's a good sign, right? The problem, I think, with The Acolyte is Leslie Headland wrote it. I mean, that's the problem with the thing. And the people that she surrounded herself, remember the writer's room commentary and all that? And she had people who didn't know what Star Wars was.
Oh,
remember all this
she wanted an
stuff?
entire team that had nothing to do with Star Wars, didn't know a thing about it.
So there were so many weird decisions
and she was proud of that
made there that I'm hoping that even though Sean Levy is given some latitude to tell his story, I'm just hoping he doesn't replicate those same issues.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. The next thing that we want to look at, we're going to switch gears to Ahsoka. Now, many of you enjoyed Rebels. You enjoyed Clone Wars. Personally, I like the Clone Wars a lot more. I do like Rebels. You have to remember, though, Rebels was part of the Disney era. One of the first things that it did. And Clone Wars was George Lucas up until season 7, I believe. Maybe it was season 7. I don't know. Maybe 6, but I think 7, the final season. Well, anyways, some interesting comments from the showrunner of...
He's a writer. This is a Gilroy.
The writer, Henry Gilroy, the writer.
No relation to the rest of the Gilroys, by the way. He's a one-off Gilroy.
So they had a long, hard look at Sabine and whether or not to make her a Jedi. And basically they said, this is a terrible idea and we need to stay far away from this. And the entire team agreed. Well, he's making comments now because obviously, of course, we're getting the whole Jedi training with Sabine and her past with Ahsoka in the live action show, that they went ahead and did this. And that apparently did not sit well with Mr. Gilroy, who made some comments. It was absolutely not the plan. As a matter of fact, we had a conversation in season 3 about whether that, and we actually felt that not only did it step on Ezra's story, but it was a retread. Like, we already did this. The idea of Sabine training as a Jedi when she is already this fantastic warrior of her own type. We felt like this is overkill. So honestly, I had nothing to do with the Ahsoka series. So I was shocked because pretty much our entire story team discussed and agreed that it was a bad idea. We did a pros and cons list and we were like, yeah, is this kind of like a weak retread? Why would we push that way? So that's an interesting thing. And that just kind of tells you or shows you that creatives can just kind of do whatever they want to do. And Kathleen Kennedy and the writing team over there is just going to say, sure, do it.
Well, you know what it tells you, because Dave Filoni was absolutely a part of those conversations for Rebels, right? So that tells you that Dave Filoni always wanted her to be Force sensitive. They overruled him, or they convinced him, or whatever. They felt strongly enough about it where he wasn't going to push it in Rebels. And then guess what? He got his way now that he's the boss, and now that there's no one there to push back against him, We got him. We got Sabine after Hu Yang said, you don't have enough force in you to push a cup across the table. We got her throwing Ezra, force pushing him, hundreds of feet into a Star Destroyer.
Yep. Speaking of, we have a gentleman in chat that worked on these things professionally, not as a YouTuber, but like actually
I know. I saw Knee Pain
Skywalker Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody that worked for Lucasfilm. Knee Pain is here in the house. You mean Rebels season 6? Yeah, season 7. We wrapped 6 when CW was canceled. Knee Pain, I just sent you an invitation. If you would like to join, go check your email and jump in here with us if you want to. If you got anything you'd like to add to this story, especially, but we're going to keep rolling. But yeah, look, Ahsoka season 2, it's on the way. It might be better than season 1. I sure hope that it is. I'm sure it's going to have some interesting moments. I'm sure it's probably going to have some dumb moments that I don't like. Season 1 certainly did. I liked the first 2 episodes a lot.
Mm.
The 3rd episode I liked. Everything after that to me was horrid. It really went off the rails. And Dave Filoni failed in his first attempt for me as a live action storyteller. He did not pull it off. But I don't have any faith in Filoni that I used to. I really did. I was fooled a long time ago. No longer do I feel that way. I'm not as hard about it as Nick is. Maybe he gets better. Maybe changes are made. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. I'll watch. I'm going to watch Ahsoka season 2. And the thing is like, I really like the character of Ahsoka.
Mm.
Clone Wars was awesome. I loved Ahsoka. So much so that I wanted the original action figure on the card, unopened. Now I don't. That's just kind of where I'm at.
I mean, for me, the best thing Ahsoka season 2 has going for it that season 1 didn't is Thrawn being back in the known galaxy and having the opportunity now to interact with the Republic fleet, and we're going to get Admiral Akbar, and we're going to get some stuff there that hopefully is meaty, right? Hopefully it's pretty well done, and they don't slough off space battles and some of the stuff that again we like to see them do. And then on your point though, I'm not very interested in the Peridia of it all. I really don't care what's going on that planet. You know what I mean? With the Mortis stuff and all the rest of the things that they appear to be saying or doing on that planet, I just don't care. And so if they go off the rails with all the Abeloth and the father and all the Anakin fighting Balin and all this stuff that feels like things
that's
Filoni
not good.
will do,
that's not a good idea.
Good.
No. Too many fans are not going to have any idea what any of that stuff is. And it's going to be meaningless. Yeah. But World of Swap Shop made this chat for you.
This was a really good clip, by the way.
I think that might have been my finest work on YouTube.
It's right up there. It always comes to my mind too, because I mean, you were just the thing about it was you're doing the writing and then you like looked over and then you did the running again.
Yeah,
it was
to illustrate how slow she was running.
Yeah,
yeah, that was good. I was just feeling funny that day. I think I'm funny like that all the time, but nobody else does. So, thank you, World of Swap Shop. We appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I love it when people bring that up. The force is strong with this chat. Thank you, Richard. Are you guys putting Ahsoka on Patreon? Absolutely, we are. And we will probably be going live immediately following the episodes like we used to. The thing about Ahsoka, this is one of my criticisms, other than Filoni's doing it, and it's not a very good story. He is too dependent on all of the secondary characters to help tell his story. When you have to have an entire basketball team full of people to tell your story, but your show is called Ahsoka, why can't you make the show about Ahsoka? Season 1's not about Ahsoka. What is season 1 about?
If I'd have to get, I would tell you that season 1 is more about Morgan Elsbeth in a way than it really is about Ahsoka, because you spend almost more, maybe
Or
if we did
Ezra.
the math, maybe if we did the math, you do spend more time with Morgan and Balin and Thrawn and all this business, and then you kind of got Ahsoka running around doing whatever she's doing, right? But I had to chuckle on the point of the secondary characters and how important they are. You know, people oohed and awed on seeing Zeb a couple of times, right? And now,
Yeah.
now Zeb apparently, kicking ass in the Mandalorian and Grogu. Well, in
Yeah.
the Empire article we're going to cover, Favreau makes it a point to say, "Oh, we've got Zeb doing great things. That's our tie-in to Ahsoka." They can't even do Mando and Grogu with. They can't even get through an interview without having to mention Zeb and how it ties into what's going on in Ahsoka.
Yeah. Just so bad. You're just so bad. And totally respect that, Darcipio. Thank you for being kind to me. Coach, Ahsoka is trash. I like what World of Swap says. He called it Ahsoka.
I saw Ahsoka.
Coach, Ahsoka is trash. You're being too kind about season 1. I mean, I killed it. I just thought that the first 2 episodes were pretty good.
Well, you hated, like many of us, that the ending was just...
It was awful.
Talk about one of the worst lightsaber fights you ever seen. The lightsaber fight that they had with those zombie troopers, that was as bad as her running. The
So
lightsaber nonsense, it was so bad.
So dumb. All right. He is here. Let's bring him in and see what he has to say.
We're interrupting regular programming with breaking news. You're looking live at our Sky 5 chopper over downtown Los Angeles, where police are in pursuit of a black Pontiac Firebird. He's headed eastbound on the 10 at speeds topping 85 miles.
I don't know what that is.
I have now joined the AI users.
I could see that.
Yeah. I've done some pretty interesting things. Knee Pain, what is up? And do you want to chime in anything specific on this conversation? Since you lived it?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see Henry speak up. He touched on some things that, I definitely have to back a lot of what he said, right? I never remember anything come up about her. I wasn't in the writer meetings, obviously. But I never remember anything about her being a Jedi at all. It seemed just way out of place. And yeah. Filoni, he's got a great memory. I will say something in reviews, he would call out stuff hey, do you remember in Clone Wars season 4 episode this shot, and he would make references to why we're doing some things, and he had a great memory. So it's not like he would have forgotten she wasn't supposed to be a Jedi. It's just, I think with a lot of creatives, when they get up higher, they have less guardrails. People keeping them in check.
In check, yeah.
And they check, they will just start doing what they've always wanted to do. And this is, you're right. This is probably what Dave wanted the entire time. So I've only listened to part of it, Henry's interview, but it was very interesting because when he actually made a reference to calling it Rebel Season 5, I laughed because I've said that on numerous occasions. So I was like, oh, wow. Henry said the same thing as me. I've only spoken to Henry once or twice. He was based out of L.A. He was up maybe once a year. We maybe said hi in the kitchen on a couple occasions. So hearing him say things that I've said was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. It does. I do think it's valid criticism to say that Filoni has not demonstrated the ability to tell a complete story about a singular character.
Yeah.
Because Clone Wars went from being about Anakin. Anakin had his arcs. Obi-Wan had Obi-Wan arcs. They had some arcs together, but not many. And then Ahsoka comes into the fold and she gains a lot of popularity, and then she takes over the show. Ahsoka took over Clone Wars. Some people won't want to admit that. She did. It wasn't about Obi-Wan and Anakin in season 6 or 7. It became the Ahsoka series.
She was their Grogu. She was their Grogu in a way.
She was.
She had probably the biggest arc, the biggest journey. She was kicked out, or she left the Order. Actually, I think she had the biggest character journey of all the characters.
Which is a good arc, by the way.
It is. It was really good. I enjoyed it. So, yeah.
But Filoni's telling he's doing storytelling the only way that he knows how. So here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you have to use so many other pieces to help tell your story,
You don't have a story.
what's your story really about? And you don't have enough meat on the bone, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have done some more planning. Maybe you should have hired some more writers or do a little bit more instead of, we're calling it Ahsoka, but it's not really Ahsoka. It's just all of these characters together.
Yeah.
And we don't know what to call it. But hey, Rosario Dawson's a star. Let's call it Ahsoka.
Well, I can tell you absolutely one writer he won't be hiring will be Henry Gilroy after this interview.
Yeah.
his time is done.
Henry probably doesn't care, but
No, he could care less at this point.
No, he's definitely moved on, it appears.
and there probably could have always been tension there to begin with. So,
yep. All right. Well, we're going to move right along. We can definitely feel free to jump back on that one. Chad Admiral Thrawn, member chat, many unacceptable outcomes.
That's all we seem to get are unacceptable outcomes.
Yeah. Definitely agree. And that's with Ahsoka and Star Wars as a whole. All right. And the Acolyte and all of it. All right. Moving on. We've got Ray delay. So in short, Daisy Ridley has now been attached to another movie project, which is going to be pushing the whole Rey movie back even further. They go on to mention that the Rey movie is still on her IMDb, upcoming Star Wars movie, the one that is being directed by Charmin Obaid Chinoy, but she's doing a movie called The Good Samaritan. So, yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing about this Good Samaritan is it's filming during the time period that it was speculated that she would start shooting this Rey movie, right? So I think, and she's got another movie. This is like the second movie that she's on. I don't know where the first one is in its production life cycle, but the reason why this one was especially, I really had to chuckle on this one, is because it's the exact same shooting time frame as when she was allegedly holding her schedule, to do this Rey movie, which I still think will never happen.
So you don't think it will ever happen?
I think if there really is a Simon Kinberg trilogy, that whatever was going to happen in this Rey movie will be a part of that trilogy. But on the same token, if the Starfighter movie does well and it really has no Rey in it, which we'll get there in a second, then I could see them giving Levy another movie to do. You know what I mean? Before a Simon Kinberg, before a Rey anything. You know what I'm saying? I think if The Mandalorian and Grogu does well enough, I could see them do, you know what I'm saying? I could see them being very opportunistic now in where they proceed. If they get a couple of decent box office results from these next two movies, we're going to be drowning Mandalorian movies and Sean Levy type movies. It would be my guess, which is just the way that it goes.
So that's interesting. I was of the thinking that if the Mandalorian and Grogu movie does if it breaks even, if it doesn't do well, then there's no way they come out with this movie at all. If things are not well with ticket sales at the box office, I don't think this movie has a chance of being made. But that's just my speculation. I'm the guy that made a video that said Ahsoka season 2 is not happening.
And then they announced it the next week. There was that scribble from Filoni. Right?
I still get comments on that video going, bruh, you need to delete this video. I go, well, no, because you're watching it.
I think that, so for me, the problem with The Mandalorian and Grogu's box office is I think the movie's going to do at least $500 million, whether it's good or not, right? People are going to go out and see the first Star Wars movie back in theaters in 6 years.
I used to agree with that. I don't know anymore, Matt.
I really think that's going to be the case. We're not talking Predator here. We're not, you know what I mean? We're not talking Tron.
But Star Wars is not what it once was.
It's not what it once was in our bubble, right? But when it comes to what the general public knows of as Star Wars at this moment,
Yeah.
there still is a hell of a lot of Grogu and Mandalorian out there.
Okay. All right.
So, but again, if it makes $500 million as a number, what does it mean, right? Well,
Nothing.
we know Starfighter's coming out anyway.
True.
So it really doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot whether it makes 500 million, whether it makes 350 million. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. If Starfighter flops, then I think we have a different story, right?
Yeah.
If Mandalorian and Grogu is a soft reception, and then Levy can't get people to come out for Starfighter, then I think we have a different conversation. I don't think either one of those things is going to happen.
So, let's see. World of Swap Shop. Does this mean that we toxic males won't get to be made and uncomfortable by Charmino Bechanoi's hyper feminist Ray movie? I would love the opportunity for this movie to fail miserably, and Charmino Bechanoy is not on record about it for a solid year like Leslie Headlandis was. I would love to know what Charmine would have to say after a year of a failure. You know what I mean? I think it would be a lot worse than Leslie's.
I think if this movie doesn't happen, and I really think it doesn't, I think everyone benefits from that. Charmaine benefits from it. Daisy Ridley, for all the reasons you're stating, Coach, because I think, say what you want about the hunt for Ben Solo and all that nonsense that came up. I think they would have had a much better chance of making a good Ben Solo movie than they do of making a good Rey movie. And I'm not saying either one should be made. I'm just saying if you have to compare the two, I really think that's the case. That's why I'm saying I think any Rey we're going to see, if we believe that she's really not in Starfighter at all, and we're going to get there in a second, I think it's going to be a part of this Kinberg trilogy, if that trilogy ever happens.
So I'm with Richard right here 100%. And I will go even further and say, screw Grogu. Give me a Mandalorian Boba Fett movie or a show, and that I would be excited for. Like I would when they're on screen together and they're doing things together, it's awesome. Tamora Morrison should be in this movie.
So here's what I'll say about Tim Morrison. Well, I don't think he's in this movie, by the way. From everything I've heard, he's not. But they just recently did a Star Wars merch video where they had all the stars come back opening toys that were based on them, or that was based on their characters or whatever. And do you know who came back to open toys? Tamara Morrison. Tamara Morrison came back and he was open Boba Fett toys. He was open Jango Fett toys. You know, he was glowing about it. He was doing all, and he was there with Diego Luna and Rosario Dawson and Denise Gaw was there. I mean, the guy who Alan Tudyk, right? He was there with all of the recent folks, opening up their toys and showing them off. I think we're destined to see Tim Morrison again as Boba Fett somewhere, somehow. I don't think we're done with that. And Coach, I think when we do see him again, I think it will be, I don't think he will come back this time if it isn't more of an agreeable portrayal of what people believe Boba Fett should be doing. So again, that's just anecdotally. I wouldn't count him out just yet, but I do not think, I'll say it before I'll say it again. If you're expecting any cameos in Mandalorian and Grogu, cameos, period, I wouldn't. I would not expect.
You don't think Bo-Katan will be in it?
No.
Based on her conversation and things that she said a few weeks ago, I don't either.
And based upon what we'll see based upon this interview with Jon Favreau, which doesn't say much, but what it does say very specifically is that he brought it up. He said, this Mandalorian and Grogu movie presented itself as an opportunity. He said, this is not Mandalorian season 4. He said, I've got season 4 written. It's right here on my desk. It's ready to go whenever they are. He said, this is a theatrical side quest adventure story with Mandalorian and Grogu doing Mandalorian and Grogu things.
All right, good. I'm actually glad that he didn't dumb down an entire season into a 90-minute film.
If you believe him, I do.
Yeah,
because it just never made sense.
He really doesn't have a reason to lie about it.
Because the question Empire asked was, do you think we'll ever see Mandalorian and Grogu back as a series? You think? And that's when he's like, I've got it right here. He said, for now, it's a movie. For now, we're going to see Mandalorian and Grogu in a cinematic setting made as a movie. He said, if they want to go back to a serialized version, I've got it. We're ready.
Knee-pain?
When you're talking about like a different Mandalorian movie, because I don't feel the Grogu thing either. And I think the lost opportunity, now that Gilroy Whitnett talked about on the podcast, which was the original young Boba Fett story about how he got his armor.
Yeah.
So that just wasn't on paper. I saw the shots. Like that was animated and rendered. We were in production season 7 when it was canceled. So, but I'd never watched the new season 7, so I completely forgot about it until Gilroy had said. I was like, oh yeah, I remember actually because doing the tech reviews. You know, every time a shot would come in, we would sit down, we'd do reviews just to make sure it wasn't like art reviews. It was just to look for errors, you know, characters going through the ground or whatever. And I remember seeing, I was like, oh, we had to see him get his armor. I remember that like conversation, like, oh yeah, he's going to get his armor. And so I just think there was probably better opportunities for Mandalorian themed content than Mandalorian Grogu.
Well, and Daniel Logan was just talking about this too at a con, right? He had a long aside where he was also talking about all of the young Boba Fett content that they had shot for what Knee-pain is saying, for the Clone Wars, and how to this day he's hurt. You know, he can't believe that somebody hasn't finished that off and made all that, because he said it wasn't just an idea. He said we voice acted it. He said it could be finished. He said, and it's not just 1 or 2. He said it's a whole season of Boba Fett content that he just can't believe that no one has resurrected even to this. And that includes, the ding in the helmet and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
That he said, I can't believe that no one's gone back and finished that off.
So, I mean, I have to say, as much as I would love to have seen it, I'm just maybe kind of glad they're doing Mandalorian Grogu, because they would have taken whatever was written back then and they would have just Disneyfied it and made it garbage, and probably, in my opinion, ruined what it was supposed to be. So I think it's better just leave it in the archives, sitting down on the first floor on a tape. I know where that's at. And do whatever they're doing, because instead of killing what was good, just kill their own ideas.
It was the Book of Boba Fett where I was able to watch really bad Star Wars and not be negatively impacted by it, or I was actually able to laugh. Like it was it's a close second to The Acolyte. I had so much fun watching and reviewing The Acolyte. Because it was so bizarre.
Your channel, actually, when I was just stuff was popping up in my recommended feed, is like making fun of
Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like, well, this looks terrible. It's probably the first time I saw you and Nick. I didn't know who you were at the time. I was like, well, this looks
You were
awful.
looking for the banjos in the back, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I was looking at banjo tutorials.
The best was when they were dancing around the fire and you put it to the Thriller music. That was actually my idea. But you put it to the Thriller music. That was some of the best. I still
that was good stuff.
That.
But it got taken down by YouTube.
Of course.
Anything Michael Jackson gets hit immediately.
That and John Williams. Yes.
But that was great. And so dumb, it was hilarious. That was the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly. Small time. Book of Boba Fett was an unintentional comedy. I
It's
laughed so hard.
it's funny because Star Wars puts up these silly little videos every now and again, and recently they put up a compilation of the best droid moments, across the Star Wars franchise. And to their credit, there was a lot of 3PO and R2D2, but of course they had to throw in L337, everyone's favorite droid from Solo, and then they brought up the kitchen droid. For all of a sudden, the kitchen droid from Book of Boba Fett shows up, the one that was like chopping all the food and dunking the thing back in the pot. I expected to see him there in a second. You know who I am? You know my name? He's holding that droid.
Yeah.
So bad.
So
bad.
back. This is a good comment here. Grogu will never make the $250 million USD mark at the box office. So I know, Richmond, you think it's going to be a financial success.
No, I never said it would be financially successful because I don't know how much.
Well, $500 million. They don't have a budget of that. I wouldn't think. I think they're trying to do less, but you don't know. You just don't.
Let's say the budget's 150 million, right? So I mean, if it makes 450, 500 million, it'll probably break even, but it'll do 250 million easily. Right. Yeah. I mean, we've had bigger flops come out.
That's just not saying very much. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it's a lot, but it's not.
No.
But I do agree that the whole Grogu thing, I think it's over. Maybe I'm just out of touch. I know I don't care, but I never cared about Grogu. I was never like, oh, look. No, we made fun of Grogu from the get-go. We were like, who is this Yoda character with demonic, evil demon eyes? Yoda didn't have solid black devil eyes like Jaws, but here's a species that's the same as Yoda with a completely different kind of eyeball, which is kind of weird, but they made it as cute as possible. Tried to make him look like Gizmo or whatever. I don't know, man. I think people have moved on from that. I do think that was the pull for a great many people. A lot of people just loved Grogu.
You know me, I've been Grogu'd out for a while. All I'll say is the most pervasive merchandise that you see out there, and when you see anybody wandering around with the Star Wars shirt on these days, it's Grogu, right? So take that for what it's worth. It could just be an old shirt, right? It could be just the merchandise has been so much it's just sitting around, right? But all I'm saying is they've marketed Grogu so significantly, which is exactly why they're calling the movie The Mandalorian and Grogu, by the way. If they called it anything else without Grogu in the title, no one wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't get that name recognition. Right now, I might have argued that it would have been better to call it Mandalorian and the Child, right? But I mean, again, they chose, even Jon Favreau in his interview refuses to call the thing Grogu. He's still calling it Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Right. So there may be a little bit of a miscue there on using his official name, but
I am so sick of Disney for a lot of different reasons, but it's laughable when they name shows and movies and they do it in the name, like using a character's name. Ahsoka, The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, in those shows, now Obi-Wan Kenobi was about Obi-Wan. It was.
Or could have called it Reva, I guess, but
could have called it Reva. Could have called it Obi-Wan and Anakin, the greatest rematch of the century, or whatever she said after she said fade in like an idiot. I can't believe they didn't cut that.
That
fade
is
in.
The best. That is I still find people have that clip.
And
every now
you
and
have been working in cinema for how many decades? And you just said fade in on a teleprompter?
Producer extraordinaire.
Holy crap. That's how dumb she is. And she didn't have the wherewithal to say, hey, cut that. Don't play that part.
You know what it was? It wasn't that she didn't have the wherewithal, right? It's that the people she trusted to have fixed that screwed
fade
her.
In.
Because full well whoever was editing that knew that should be removed. and they said, I'm gonna get one on.
I
Or
cannot
screw her.
believe she said that.
Or did they? Was it some inexperienced editor who's just another nepotism hire?
It's possible. It's possible.
Who thought it
That was
gonna
one
be
of the
funny.
all-time dumbest moments in Star Wars history. Right there. And we laughed our asses off.
Fade in. I can still hear her saying it.
Oh, I was like, did that really just happen? Okay. Anyways, you'll regret not fading in, Jerome. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Richmond, tell us about Sean Levy. He's making a brand new Star Wars movie. All he gets are pats on the back. Do whatever you want, Sean. Everything's going great. Make it new.
Well, and so this is another, like you were saying, right? This is another really weird, in a way, a really weird set of comments here, because the comments go, Sean Levy basically says in this interview, he says, I didn't really approach Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy called me and said, hey, we really want you to bring Sean Levy's sensibilities to Star Wars, and we want you to make a Star Wars movie for us. And so his response was, oh, great. I'd love to do that. He's like, what's it a prequel to? Or what's it a sequel to? Or what are my guardrails? How do I need to fit it in to the broader story that's being told? And apparently her response was, no, don't do any of that. It's not a prequel to anything. It's not a sequel to anything. You tell the story you want to tell. Tell a Sean Levy Star Wars story. Bring your people in and let's make this happen. And so enter Jonathan Tropper, who's written for him before. Enter all these other people now he's bringing from a director of photography and cinematography. All these people now he's bringing his crew, and allegedly now making a Star Wars story that he feels strongly about. That would seem to have no tie-ins or familiar characters in it at all. So is it true? Do we believe? It's just so weird that I sort of believe the conversation happened, but then it would lead us to believe that there is no handoff to Rey at the end, right? There wouldn't be a Rey connectivity here. Other people have speculated that this is just a springboard, right, to bring Rey back in and to make her relevant again, and yada yada yada. He's dealing with the Force sensitive nephew, and we've heard all this before. But this commentary here, and again, these interviews are purposeful, right? But this interview taken at face value would make us think that it's going to be his take on a story in a Star Wars universe, which we've already gotten confirmation. It's set 5 years-ish after Episode 9, so it's set in the post-sequels time frame. That's basically what the article says. That's basically the content here of what
time
they're saying.
frame doesn't matter. It's after the sequels, but everything's going to be new. There's going to be no parallels to anything before it. There's no Rey, there's no stormtroopers, there's new planets. Everything is new is basically what they're saying here. Now, whether or not that really happens, we'll see. But that is what he said so far. What does that mean for me? Absolutely nothing. For one, I'm glad that it's not directly tied to the sequel trilogy.
Well,
but the sequel trilogy needs to be destroyed.
And here's a direct quote, right? Here's a direct quote. This is why I say it's so weird. It's whenever he considered using a legacy character, the studio pushed back. Every time, here's the quote, every time I've asked, should I use this character that was maybe no. in that movie?
Yeah.
Every time it's, you know what? People have seen that. Do something new. And then he says, Levy contrasted.
Didn't work for Leslie Headland, did it?
Here's another good one. Levy contrasted that with earlier franchise installments. Unlike Solo, unlike Rise of Skywalker, which was a sequel to 2 other movies, ultimately a 9th film, the Skywalker saga, Starfighter is all new characters based on new ideas that Jonathan Tropper and I cooked up alone and together. It's been in a time period that's never been in Star Wars movie. It's not about legacy characters. And while it does have, I hope, the sense of joy and adventure that A New Hope introduced to us back in 1977, this is a new Star Wars adventure.
Okay. There it is.
So I don't know if that makes us feel better or worse, right? Again, on your point, Leslie Headland, all knew everything, for the most part, didn't work out so good. Now, again, you might argue she wasn't up to the task. Her writer's room wasn't mature. She didn't have the sensibility, or maybe she did it first, but the way that she was coached and what we got, the sensibility would show it didn't work out great. Does that mean this can, does that mean this will work out poorly? Maybe this will work out poorly for other reasons.
She certainly had the budget to hire experienced
well, that's
writers.
Yeah, I mean, so
I think the only thing that would get me excited for any kind of Star Wars movie is if it was a Rey movie, but Rey had followed in her father's footsteps and became the Sith Lord.
I mean, it's kind of, there is an interpretation.
Only interesting part.
And I don't want it either, but there is an interpretation of how they left all that, with Palpatine basically saying, this is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to strike me down and all this stuff. I'm going to live on with you. You're my legacy. And so, yeah, if they're going to do it, give us a Dark Rey story. They never will, right? But in a way, I don't disagree with you on that point.
Couldn't disagree more. Got nothing but love for both of you. Don't ever put Rey Palpatine in a movie again for any reason whatsoever.
That's a given, right? We don't want her back, but if you're gonna,
you couldn't pay me to go watch a Rey movie. I will not. I know that there's a little tiny sect of Star Wars book people that like to say that Echo Base Network will go watch everything. I will not go watch a Rey movie. That's not going to happen.
You'll be there opening weekend.
I cannot watch the sequel trilogy again. I can't do it. I will never watch The Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi again. There is no way. I cannot do it. I think, hey, Nick, we should go revisit those movies and watch them again. And Nick's like, I can't do it. I'm like, bro, it would be hilarious. And he's like, I just can't. I hate it so much. We just lost knee pain.
We did. Well, the good news on this front, Coach, is if there is any Rey movie at all, and let's assume she's not in Starfighter, right? And even if she is, she'll just be at the end anyway. Right. The earliest you'd ever get it would be 2028, 2029. You know what I mean? It's not going to be around the corner.
No. So, all right. It's like Disney releases the original trilogy again in 4K glory, non-special edition. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, real Star Wars in the real movie theater. Oh, this is insane. Oh my gosh. And then right after that, they come out with a Rey movie.
I mean, they're pretty dumb, right? I mean, so I don't want to give them undue credit, but I don't think they want to ruin the 50th anniversary of Star Wars with Rey business. You know what I mean? We've got Mandalorian and Grogu, then we've got, you know what I'm saying? Then they don't really have to announce anything else until Celebration if they don't want to, and that's in 2027.
And I agree with Red French Moon here. It goes without saying. I think everybody knows this. It's nothing personal against Daisy Ridley, the actress, the person. We hate Rey. We hate the Star Wars of it, not Daisy Ridley. I like Oscar Isaac. I like a lot of those people. Now, I'm not crazy about some of the Acolyte folks. I'm just not. Hey, he's back. There he is.
Well, and as much as I'm just happy to see, Daisy Ridley has been in other movies, right? None of them have been good. And that has nothing to do with Daisy Ridley. So, I mean, the fact that she is in 2 other movies now coming up here, again, one of them is another MMA movie, about a real life biopic type thing about another MMA. We're just into all this boxing and MMA things now. And then there's
Yeah,
this
that's
other
not
one that
going
was,
very well either, by the way.
no. And then there's this other one that was announced. I'm just glad to see she's getting work. Right. And I think she's probably glad that she's getting non-Star Wars work too. Every other movie she stars in that's not Star Wars makes her more employable as an actress
Yeah.
in something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. All right. Well, moving right along, the Mandalorian and Grogu Din Djarin has changed his priorities as he tackles his biggest mission. Now, Risman, you'll have to take my comments further based on what I'm seeing. They're mainly just saying, hey, originally Mandalorian was a bounty hunter, gun for hire. Now he's exclusively chosen sides. He's working with the good guys. He's going to be working with Zeb. Get ready for a great ride. Mandalorian is a good guy now. That's essentially the gist of what I'm seeing. Am I right there?
You are, and it's funny. I saw this on, I can't remember whose other stream I was watching, and they kind of brought this up. If you think about it, though, he's only kind of not been a good guy like in the very first episode of the first season, right? Because if you remember, the whole thing started with him on contract for the Empire, for the Remnant.
Exactly.
Right? He was remember
Which
he was
I
rich.
liked more, but that's
Right.
just me.
But again, even then, he was just, he was a guild member, right? He was a bounty hunter for hire, and he happened to have taken a job with the Imperial Remnant. He wasn't, I don't think he was aligning himself one way or the other. He was just very much
Doing it for the credits.
I'm doing it for the money,
For
right?
the best
And now through the 3 seasons, we're led to believe that, and we saw this at the end of the 3rd season, right? We're led to believe that he's sort of thought more about it, and he's had these life experiences, and with Grogu, and meeting Ahsoka, and he's had a lot. If you think about it, he's run into quite a lot of people that nobody else has ever met in their lives, right? It's kind of funny in a way. So all of those experiences now have made him sort of decide, I'm a dad now. I'm going to align myself with the New Republic exclusively. And from what I understand, something happens at the beginning of this movie, which we've seen bits and pieces of actually in the teaser trailer. But something happens at the beginning of this movie that makes the fact that he needs the Razor Crest a little bit more logically. It follows a little bit more logically about why all that happens and all of that, and I think that sets them off on this adventure with the New Republic, and we go from there.
Want to give a special shout out to our old friend Black Dragon. Hadn't seen Black Dragon, our friend, in
cool.
chat in a long time, but he is one of our OGs. Welcome home, my friend. Good to see you.
And he's right. And so again, they're really leaning into it now. I think it's less that he wasn't a bad guy, or you know what I mean. Now they're like, now he's clearly a good guy, right?
Yeah.
For whatever that matters. I don't know. And then again, this Favreau interview that came in Empire here.
Yep. Go ahead.
It's just basically talking about, again, that's where that first quote came from. So the other article comes from here. And then also in here, this is where he talks about Zeb and how exciting it was to have him, kicking ass and taking names and sort of have that tie into Ahsoka. And here's where he mentions, season 4 being on his desk, and he's ready to go back, whenever they want, but how exciting it was to shoot for
I still
IMAX.
have season 4 sitting on my desk here.
Yeah.
When the film came about, plans pivoted. The big screen demanding a different approach. It's structured around a movie structure as opposed to a serialized weekly television show. So there's a larger throw to the whole thing. It's the Mandalorian and Grogu bigger than you've seen them before, literally and figuratively. The Baby Yoda show is out for now. Bring on the Baby Yoda movie. That's Jon Favreau talking.
And so again, in other news, water is wet, kind of a thing. But I think if this interview doesn't do anything else, right, the two things that I think it really does is it highlights how exciting they are, how excited. And by the way, I'm a huge Zeb fan. If they want to really give us fan service,
I'm
they
not.
should throw in Callus too. I know you're not as a big Zeb fan as the
I'm
rest
not
of
a
us.
fan of any of the Rebels.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you-
Knee Pain.
you-
I
no,
love
you-
Knee Pain. I'm a fan of Knee Pain.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Fulcrum. I thought
Okay.
that was freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Bringing her into that show as Fulcrum, even though that's the problem with Star Wars. I like Ahsoka. I like Ahsoka before the Age of Rebellion. The Age of Rebellion happens. She's nowhere to flip and be found. Never see her because she didn't exist. And then the Age of Rebellion is over. And now okay, Rebels happened during the Age of Rebellion. So
We know
there she was. Yeah, that's just it got too big, man. There's too many contradictions. There's too many it got too big. Give me the original trilogy, even give me the prequels. I'm good. And I'm going to be honest. This is a little off topic. I'm having a hard time trying to go back and rewatch The Mandalorian. I can't even remember the name of the episode. The season 2 finale where Luke shows up.
I don't know what any of them are called, but yes, I know the episode you mean.
I will, like on a dead day at school,
The Return or
where
the
there's
Jedi, I don't know.
there's no instruction. It's just a complete dead day. I might play that for students. And they'll half of them are like locked in on it. They're like, "Oh yeah, oh." But it's like the only episode that I even care to go back and look at all. I struggle to watch it.
I'm with you. I've never thought that. I haven't rewatched The Mandalorian one time. Right? To me, The Mandalorian has very little rewatchability. We talked about this before, but if you think about what happened in The Mandalorian, every episode, the Razor Crest breaks down. They crash somewhere. You know what I mean? They go on an adventure. They try and fix the thing, and things happen along the way. Right? I mean, this is once obviously he hooks up with Grogu, and then this whole get him back to the Jedi business continues. And again, we don't need to relitigate how they botched that even as time went on. But I don't think The Mandalorian has any rewatchability. I don't think Book of Boba Fett has any rewatchability. For whatever it's worth, I've rewatched Kenobi and Ahsoka more times than I've ever watched any of the rest of it.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian just came out first. It's not really even that good.
I tried to watch it recently. I find it's like, maybe I should get caught up. Yeah, I'm sitting here working long shifts at night. Maybe just watch it on the third monitor. Maybe get caught up. I got to episode 2 and lost interest.
I can't do it, man.
And partly I was a little bit afraid of getting too into it. And the next thing you know, I see Jack Black and Lizzo, and I'm like,
oh, you're talking about
that's
season 3.
No, forget
Season
that.
3 definitely has
that.
no rewatchability.
I'm talking about season 1 and 2 only. I will never go back and watch season 3. But that's the thing, man. It's like, how many times can I watch the original trilogy over and over and over and never stop? I'll watch it till I'm dead. But I have not been able to go back and rewatch The Mandalorian. I haven't. I give it high praise. I talk about how much I liked it, how much I love season 2. It's true. I watched some of those episodes multiple times when they came out. I have not been able to go back and watch them again. Now I don't watch a whole lot of anything. I did catch up on Pluribus, Risman. I'm in it.
Yeah, we want you
It's
to be happy,
interesting.
Carol.
She's trying to figure out what's going on. I'm digging it. It's not Breaking
that one
Bad.
that one guy eating dog food that she called on the phone. He's there eating dog food. I was like, oh no, I could. Yeah, it's good. Vince Gilligan.
He's definitely going to pop back up somewhere.
Vince Gilligan should write a Star Wars story, right? This is again these series that we talk about that we enjoy watching. For All Mankind, Pluribus, Silo, these other shows that are out there, Foundation, are compelling because they're well written. They cause people to do breakdowns. They're interesting stories because they have care, right? The Mandalorian story in seasons 1 and 2, it's really not great of a story.
Yeah. Our friend JWD Jimby, same here. My reason was always the same. Even if it's entertaining, I already know it all doesn't lead anywhere, so it doesn't make it worth watching the entire seasons. I feel that. I really do. The Disney era movies killed what little good they were able to do. It just did. Since Disney bought Star Wars, it's been National Lampoon Star Wars. I agree. There was another good one. Oh, Donovan. Thanks, Donovan. This is a great question. Is it the lack of rewatchability? Is it due more about the story, the writing, or the cast? It's not the cast. It's not the cast. Even though Jack Black and Lizzo was horrid in season 3,
Oh, terrible.
the story was what was lacking, and then the whole we're having the Mandalorian, but it's not about the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian could be anybody now. Like, what are we doing?
Don't forget Christopher Lloyd pushing the button, Coach. Christopher Lloyd was done no service in that season either.
And I was never a fan of the Grogu thing. I wasn't.
Oh, he was in the mech. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Remember?
Yeah. IG-11 was awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Star Wars Retold had something interesting that he said a second ago. Okay. The future of Star Wars is so bleak. That's why I created a direct alternate episode 8 and 9 that continues directly from The Force Awakens as a full cast audio drama. Coach, have you taken a look? I haven't. So can you email that to me or send that to us on X, Twitter, or however we need to do it? I would love to check that out. That is cool. I'm not creative like that, so that would be awesome. All right. Loving Pluribus.
And we do have a few. We have I think we have 3 super chats or member messages, Coach.
Go ahead and take us through. Go ahead.
Get through these as well. This is from a while ago. Venger for £10. You want to see a great Sith story? Snippet. Check Star Wars Tales Untold video, the horrifying way Palpatine became a Sith Lord. It's from the Plagueis novel, and it's fantastic.
I had the Plagueis novel, but it was the first edition, and I sold it because those things are valuable.
Mm-hmm. People have a lot of love. Not much Plagueis in there, from what I understand, but people have a lot of love for the Plagueis novel.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's worth
Thank
some
you,
money.
Ben.
I think
Thank you,
the
Ben.
first edition book sells for like $100.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. Sodak Chopper is here for $1.99.
Sodak.
Excuse me. I think that was as Chopper. I think it was Chopper saying.
I think it's responding to Coach's.
Yeah, I think he was, kind of
about Rebels.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I think it's hilarious because even like Ryan Cannell a few times was kind of like, "Sorry, dude, I hate." I was like, "I don't really care." I know it's not personal.
Exactly.
Lou Capadonna hasn't been around for a while.
What's
either.
up,
Lou is
man?
here for $5. It's been a while. Great to see you live again. You're still great, and Star Wars still sucks. Just had kid number 4. I hope it gets better for their sake. Well, congratulations on the family.
Lou, this is for your children exclusively.
I can do that if you want.
Boo!
Yes.
That's what Coach feels about Grogu. Great to have you here, Lou. Chad Admiral Thrawn is with us for $5.
Chad.
Coach, I recommend you rewatch Rebels and listen to the 3 Thrawn books woven into it. All that in isolation is the best Disney has done.
That's cool. That's the kind of thing that I could see myself getting into. I could see myself going back and rewatching Rebels. Time is the problem.
Yeah, it's a big time investment.
It's a big time investment, and it's like I'd like to watch Deep Space Nine.
I knew Deep Space Nine. I was going to say, put it on the list with Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things, man.
Maybe
But
you'd be watching Stargate
but you
first.
got me. Look, the best thing that's happened to me is you telling me what to watch.
Because I'm watching it all. That's right.
You watch it all, son. You freaking watch it all. And you tell me what to watch, and you already know if I'll like it or not. You very rarely are you wrong. You were wrong about Slow Horses.
Oh, Slow Horses is so good. But
I
it's
believe you.
it's so very British, right? And Gary Oldman is, I mean, I'm glad they keep making that
Yeah.
series.
But when you said, you know, I've said them a million times, Foundation and For All Mankind, and the things that you've gotten me to watch, it's been fun. Like, so you opened up my eyes to Apple TV, and
Listen,
you gave me and you let me
Yeah.
latch onto your subscription.
Well, you're part of the family. You're
Well, I
part of the
appreciate
family.
that.
But
that was
yeah,
great.
I mean, you know, Apple's sort of become the new HBO. Although, per I understand, HBO's new strategy is to become HBO again, which I had to chuckle about, but you know, literally and figuratively. But yeah,
Black
it's
Dragon. He says, I have a copy of The Heart of the Jedi signed by the author, Ken Flint.
Yep, I have one too.
And I will never get rid of it, no matter how much it's worth. It was given to me by someone special. What a awesome time that was.
Yeah.
When that came out and it was in the news, and there was one guy on YouTube that tracked that dude down.
Yeah.
And he's talking right now in black with chubby cheeks. Me. I tracked that man. I called
through his family.
I called his son's school, where he is the librarian, and spoke to this man to get this guy on our channel.
Little stalkish, but that's okay. It worked out. It worked out.
I did it. Ken Flint is the man. That was a great time. Felix Quiros was loving it.
Oh, yes.
So, Echo Base Network, ECHO Base Network at gmail.com. Star Wars Retold. Shoot that to us, man. We will check that
And then
out.
he had a follow-up here, Coach. If you go, I can do it. He said something about a playlist. Here it is. Coach, if you visit the channel Star Wars Retold, you'll see the uploads. There's a playlist containing 11 chapters so far to enjoy.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to go there right now.
We got two more member messages. Star Wars Retold. Mark's 47 here, member for 8 months. Also recommending
Got it.
For the Empire AFK channel on YouTube. Trust me. AFK.
So I am a subscriber to Star Wars Retold.
Star Wars Retold's been here before, so I think
Oh yeah, we know Star Wars Retold.
Mhm.
I've not watched these chapter breakdowns, so very cool, very, very cool. We will check that out.
And then another For the Empire AFK channel on YouTube. Trust me. I don't know AFK.
That's not it. It's Echo Base Network at gmail.com.
Yes, Echo Base
Brandon. Come on, Brandon. Just playing. Good to see Brandon, the anime guy, my brother. Good.
And the last one, Green Lantern, member for 54 months. Just wanted to say, hey, glad to be a part of EBN for so long. I remember Echo Base TV, where community happens. Thanks for making a great community. And he loves my snow speeder. I put those snow speeders. It wasn't Nick, it was me. I put those snow speeders there for you, Green Lantern. So I'm glad to see you.
Thank you for doing that too. He wanted those snow speeders
for years. You wanted
seriously, man. We this channel, everything that we've talked about so far has been Star Wars tonight. We do have some non-Star Wars topics, but we were a Star Wars channel to begin with, and because that was mine and Nick's both main love and entertainment growing up, all the way up until today, and it always will be number one. But when we say it's number one, we're talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. We're talking about the old, and we're not getting any more of that. And that's
Well,
just
when
the
he
sad-
buys the franchise again, Coach, it'll be
oh,
good.
shut it.
It comes out
So-
of retirement, de-ages by
Yeah.
50 years. So he's got energy to do this again.
Well, they've cloned him. They've cloned him. There's a cloning chamber in his new museum, and on opening day, he's going to walk out, be 20 years younger. You'll see. You'll see. He's got Marsha and the entire team back there editing episode 10.
Yeah. Sure.
So anyways, man, like this has been such a journey from going from a Star Wars channel to a channel that did other things and back to a Star Wars channel, and we're naming ourselves something else, and we want to do all new Star Wars, and me and Nick get into it, and we're not going to do anything, and then we hit a moment or a time in our life where we're just not getting out as much content, and the growth and happening on YouTube, and we're not grinding like we did for years. Truth be told, I'm just not making as many videos as I used to. Has nothing to do with Nick. But anyways, thank you guys for sticking with us through all of that. We will be back. It is going to happen. Like Nick is supposed to be going home tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know if he is or not.
So that Chopper, Nick. Now that's a name I've not heard for a long time. A long time.
That is great. This is I got it. Yes. Nick, his idea to start this YouTube channel. Where is he? Where is he?
He's at a tiki bar.
This is how things go. But Nick knows I'm going to be here later when he's home to play some Battlefield 6. He knows that.
I know.
Nick's still on vacation. Man, I'd love to have a 3-month long. I'm telling you, Nick's going to do what Nick's going to do. That's the way it goes. You can always rely on Nick to do what's fun for Nick. Definitely. Love him, though. That he's one of a kind. All right.
Thank goodness.
So, Stargate
coming back with the original Stargate guy, apparently.
Stargate coming back with the original creator, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I only watched the movie. So
I don't think I ever watched any of the series.
I
Maybe
know
Stargate
some
Atlantis.
people-
Was there an Atlantis?
There was.
And
There was.
I watched that. I don't know.
There's some people that really like it. And I'm sure there's people in chat that really liked it. Matt Dewayne says, "Knee pain, you're the new Nick."
No, he's not. He's here.
Great.
He can't be the new Nick if he's here.
Yeah, he's not the new Nick if he's here. That's right.
He's present.
Burn.
Crazy. So, knee pain, did you ever watch any Stargate?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna re-binge it again. It's probably one of my favorite series. That Battlestar Galactica. Huge SG-1 fan.
The remake Battlestar
Remake.
Galactica.
Yeah, remake.
Legend. Remade by a legend, Coach.
Yeah.
I thought that the remake of Battlestar Galactica was so well done.
Oh yeah. I mean, the original was actually really corny. To be
Edward
honest.
James Olmos as Adama is one of my favorite portrayals of any character ever.
That series is amazing.
You cannot have a better character leader. If I had to pick a leader for war in any fictional whatever, it would probably be him.
And it's the gentleman was cast as his XO.
Yes.
I mean, they
What
had
the frack?
amazing chemistry. They just worked so well together.
Well, and Katie Sackhoff just recently had an interview with the guy who played Gaius Baltar. I can't think of the actor's name right
he
now.
was phenomenal too.
And just to hear, I recommend if you don't subscribe to the Katie Sackhoff show, that's the name of her podcast. She has lots of interesting folks on, and their interview, it was amazing just to hear all of them, sort of reliving again the Battlestar Galactica, but just to hear his approach to Gaius and oh my gosh, I couldn't recommend it enough. But yes, Battlestar Galactica reboot was still some of the best sci-fi we've gotten in the last. Well, shoot, that was in the 90s now, right? Wasn't it? It's been a minute since that, but it still holds up. It still looks good.
No, it's great. No, but yeah, back to Stargate. Huge SG1 fan. Loved Atlantis. Was really loving Universe. And yeah, I was upset when it was canceled. And now this has been announced, and I am excited and terrified all at the same time. Because I think Amazon's involved with this. And I'm just thinking of like how the Lord of the Rings went. So it's I was really geeked up, and I'm trying to forget about it because if I think about it, I think I'll just stress out. For me, it's big though.
Keep this thing rolling. I'll be right back, Risman.
Okay. Yeah, and I was just Matt Tuins reminded me that James Callis, right, is the guy who played Baltar, and he was also in Slow Horses. He played and then a bit of an inept boss guy in Slow Horses. But I can just bring this while Coach is gone. We just bring this. Oh, you always want me to support ads. I'm not good with ads. Yep. So Martin Giro, who began his career in the original Stargate TV franchise. Exact plot for this being kept under wraps, and of course it's going to be Amazon again. It's Amazon MGM. It's going to be on Prime Video. 20 years ago, my first real job in television was a story editor on Stargate Atlantis. Spent 5 years in the franchise, working across all 3 series. Stargate taught me everything about making television. It's written into my DNA. I'm beyond thrilled that Amazon MGM has entrusted me with guiding this incredible franchise into his next phase. So I think, on your point, Amazon Prime's been hit or miss. There's been some stuff on there I've liked a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have to hope that if this guy still got a good sensibility for Stargate and they bring him back, that they'll give him the freedom and they'll leave him be. You know what I mean? And we won't have a Rings of Power. Right, we'll have something here that again is true to form and is reverent. But yeah, I'm with you there. You never know with Amazon.
Yep.
All right. Well, moving right along, the next thing that we've got, there is some new.
I know we're on a lot of Star stuff today.
Star Trek coming.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it other than new characters. Apparently, I'm hoping it's a new ship. This is not going to be Kirk. This is not going to be Spock. It's not going to be J.J. Abrams. So, other than those things, we don't know anything about it. But it's coming. They're working on a brand new series. You just hope that these things, these legacy things from the past, can make strong cultural comebacks and diffuse culturally. Star Trek has been losing for a long time, and Star Wars is right there with it. Now they're in the same boat. I don't know which one is sicker, but anyways, we'll see what happens.
The best news here, again, these guys wrote Spider-Man Homecoming. They were involved with the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which again didn't do very well at the box office.
They have rebooted some things. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
did some Spider-Man
Homecoming. Yeah. And the best thing about this is no bad robot, no Chris Pine, all deference to Chris Pine and those folks. They need to go.
Don't do that.
Don't need to go back to them. Right. We don't need J.J. Abrams. We don't need Alex Kurtzman. We need this kind of a thing, I think, going forward to give it its best opportunity to succeed. But again, we've had so many Star Trek announcements. We've almost had as much Star Trek announcements that have come and gone over the last, since like 2014 till now. There's been 5, 6, 7 movies announced and then they go away, and then the scripts are not there, and then they keep buying these scripts and then they never get made. So hopefully, since they're under new management here and there seems to be a commitment to really wanted to reboot this, that this will be the way to do that. But yeah, they got a long way to go for Star Trek just because the stuff they've been giving us in the intervening years, it just hasn't been good, with the exception of Picard season 3, which is a clear anomaly, right? You can't base anything on that because by all rights, it never should have existed in the first place.
Yep. Any thoughts, Nipang?
I liked older Star Trek. I'm so now detached from Star Trek. I mean, nothing that's come out in probably the past decade has really interested me.
Did you watch Picard season 3?
I tried watching a couple of the Picard shows. I didn't really get into it.
I have one episode you need to watch.
Okay.
I know exactly which one it is.
It still brings a tear to me eye.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I know exactly which one it is.
They recaptured the magic.
Oh, wow.
Terry Metalis did.
If you look, I could sit here and hate on Star Trek, modern Star Trek, with anybody else. Picard season 3 got it right.
Okay.
And there's one episode that's like, it's like the old grizzled, past your prime veteran athlete coming out of retirement for one more glorious comeback.
With the All-Star team.
It's Jack Nicklaus winning the Masters at 40.
Yeah.
It's Tiger Woods coming back and winning a major at his age now when nobody expects it. You know, it's George Foreman coming out of retirement after being in the dark for 10 years to recapture the heavyweight championship at 43. Star Trek Picard season 3 got it right.
Mm-hmm. It's just too bad it had to get past the baggage of seasons 1 and 2 for a lot of people to get there. But
if you could just imagine if it started like that,
right? They would have only needed one season. It would have just been Picard.
You better,
Picard,
exactly.
Period.
Say it again.
Just would have been
Like
one season.
Only needed one season. Just great. So we'll see. I don't know. Legend of Zelda. Look, I don't know how this is going to work, how well it's going to work, but I'm interested. Great, IP to draw from. If you can pull this off, you've got something that could last forever. Like they could make 15 Legend of Zelda live action films. Like this is really something that could stay around a while. And if this is a success, I'm telling you, I'm thinking we're going to get another animated show. We might get a live action show. There's going to be more Zelda coming and making itself more culturally relevant than it already is. It is relevant. When a Zelda game drops, Nintendo folks are on it.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's an event. Like they're going to GameStop at midnight to pick that up, and they're playing all night long. So this is something special. I hope they're able to pull this off. Any thoughts about The Legend of Zelda? This is nothing more than, hey, we got pictures of the people now. There they are.
So I'm with you, Coach. I think these pictures look good. There's a couple of things here that kind of give you pause, though, right? Number one, I'm sure they're going to have Link talk in this movie. I don't think it's going to be a movie.
I don't know how he can't speak.
So that's a little dodgy. What's the voice going to look like? Like, is he going to talk? How is all that going to go? And
so
then
he talks in Zelda. You just don't hear it.
That's right. So, I mean, the voice, they got to get the voice right, number one. And then number two, if you look at the picture, she's got the arrows and he doesn't appear to have anything, right? So again, we're so conditioned now to think, okay, is a Zelda girl bossing it here? What?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
How are they going to handle the dynamic of Zelda and Link together? And again, you have to believe because Nintendo was involved, and because of their culture and all these things, and because of all the reasons that you mentioned, they don't want to do anything that's going to cause people not to want to buy the next Zelda anything. But you have to believe they're not going to ruin it. But again, we're so jaded now in
Yeah.
how things have gone. That's where a lot of people's mine included, when I saw these pictures, I'm like, they look great. Where's a sword? Well, he doesn't seem to have a shield. She's got arrows. And what's he going to sound like?
Yeah. There's a lot to be unraveled there, and there's a lot to be seen, but I am definitely interested, and I support this franchise. I want it to do well. So we will see. The Super Mario movie was very good. Very good. This is not the same.
No.
I would have been 100% in favor of giving me a animated film
This is a risk.
for Zelda.
Yeah.
That would have been safe, Risman.
Yeah.
Making an animated movie for Zelda would have been safe.
100%.
This is not safe. This is John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, Super Mario. This is
Ugh.
live action.
Yeah. No, I know.
You need to pull this off, or you are hurting Zelda.
Yeah. This is a risky one. Is the fans are just going to be what Star Wars fans were when Acolyte came out, just raging on YouTube, the Zelda fans.
Not good.
Which is not good.
No. And let's just be honest. We're in a culture today where we look for things to rage on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when we find it, we stay there for a while.
I wasn't either way on the pictures. I was like, yeah, it's just a couple pictures, and this could be a flashback scene too. Who knows? I mean, we don't know. We haven't seen enough. I didn't get worked up about it. I think the trailer will be telling, but also too, it's like, should they? I kind of feel like, should they hold back on the trailer, like how trailers used to be? Like, don't expose his voice. Let that come out in the movie. Because if we only see a little bit in the trailer, that could be taken the wrong way by some.
Well,
and
also
maybe hurt the movie. So yeah.
And also, I don't think they plan to release these pictures. Came out like hours after leaks came out. Somebody leaked some different shots on X, and then all of a sudden these come out from their trades, right? So I also think that the release of these pictures, or this live action, looked like a set photographer took it, obviously, or a location photographer. I think it was totally because of the of those leaks. So I'm with you, Need Pain. They got to nail the music. There's so much they have to get right here, because this franchise means across all the games, it really is something that this can't be a swing and a miss, right? This has to be knocked out of the park.
Zelda has to be a home run, or it's not Zelda.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Either crush it or you don't.
Exactly.
There's no middle ground.
Either crush it or don't make it.
And again, if they ruin this, you better believe people are not going to buy the game. Then whatever next game they might as well not even release it.
Well, I wouldn't go.
It's not going to be that dramatic.
Nintendo fanboys are going to buy a freaking Zelda game, no matter what the movie does, but it will still hurt it. There's no doubt about that. Okay, these things are tied. I agree with that. All right, Black Dragon, have you seen the live action of How to Train Your Dragon? If so, your thoughts? I have seen it. I watched it once and I liked it fine. But Black Dragon, and everybody here knows, I'm a sucker for fantasy. You give me a dragon and some swords and stuff, and I'm all in. Like, that's easy for me. The movie did perfectly fine. It's a much better remake to me than any of that Lion King stuff I couldn't watch, the Snow White stuff I couldn't watch. So many of those remakes I can't do. How to Train Your Dragon, I did it. I watched it. It was fine. I don't think I'll ever watch the live action version again.
I'd watch the animated over the live
because it
action.
wasn't on that level for me, but it was perfectly fine to watch once. So I will give it that. I don't even remember the casting. Truth be told, I watched the movie or movies like one time through years ago, and now they came up with a live action film, and I don't even really remember all that much. Just the premise.
I've not watched any of these, nor The Lion King, nor Moana, so I mean, a lot of this, none of the Toy Stories, all of this stuff just kind of passed me by. So I like the dialogue around how they did, and the dialogue on this movie was really positive in regards to, beat for beat and this. And I know Black Dragon's talking about some of the casting being, maybe having some people did have some comments on casting. But yeah, I've not seen any of these, including, I know this one's on Peacock now. Haven't seen this one. Haven't seen this one either.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the conclusion of tonight's show. We went through a whole lot. We didn't get through everything. Next week on our next live stream, and by the way, be looking for some random live stream at some point next week, because it is the holiday schedule. And I've got a little bit more free time. So be anticipating some more videos than what we've been doing lately, a live stream or two, and then our regular Thursday. Well, actually, we will not be live Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So we'll probably push to Saturday again, which means, friends like, oh gosh, crap.
I don't know who you're trying. I can't help you. I don't know who you're
His
going
name
for.
just slipped my mind. I cannot believe it. He's our Saturday guy, but he doesn't come around on Thursdays because it's hard for him. I cannot remember. Darcipio. It's Darcipio.
Oh, Darcipio. Yeah.
So anyways, be looking for all that, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're going to keep this thing going. Who knows? He's still at the Tiki Bar. I'm sure he's going to be ready to play some Battlefield, though, when he gets home. But, guys, we love y'all so much. Y'all are the best. Lou Capadonna finishes the show off here with a $5 super chat. Thanks, Lou. What's more likely, you guys and YouTube critics are fascist, or Leslie Headland is a talentless activist hack who doesn't know Star Wars or care for Star Wars? Option 2, Lou. There's no doubt about that. Option 2. Because I'm definitely not a fascist. I'm perfectly 100% A-OK with a two-party system. There's no fascism in me. People don't even know what that word means today.
Well, it's just a word.
It's a buzzword.
Yeah.
It's a buzzword. It's an evil word that you could call somebody, and the ignorant go, oh, because they don't know what it is either. So,
back in my day, we just had curse words. We called people we didn't like them. Now it's just...
Well, can't use some of those words now. Any pain, but that's okay. We can't go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lou, thank you so much for sending in that $5 super chat. We're going to play a super chat video for all the people who super chatted tonight. We got Scott Westbrook, Rogue Sarge, Donna Hergenrether, Chad Admiral Thrawn, Venger, Sodak Chopper, Lou Capadonna, Chad Admiral Thrawn, Marks 47, Green Lantern 345, and then Lou Capadonna once again. Oh, we're going with the best. Where community happens.
Very well done. Very well done.
All right, guys. Wristman, knee pain. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You guys made this enjoyable. Chat, you made it even more enjoyable. Thank you all. We'll see you guys very soon. As we always say here, you are Echo Base Network. See you guys on the next one.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
I have no idea who that is on the right. students asked me that the other day, Extreme Bean. Was I wearing eyeliner? That is freaking crazy.